I'm a cybernetic organism covered in living human tissue. Who am I kidding? I'm not convincing anyone with that shit. Anyway, I'm so inspired by this game that I had no choice but to do that. You know why? Because when you got freaking Arnie on the front cover, you can't go wrong, man. Like, look at this. The guy's got freaking 24-inch pythons slinging around cybernetic boomerangs. I mean, what kind of kid doesn't want to do that? I mean, any kid in the right mind would sacrifice his life to be this guy. But I just found it kind of odd that in the game he's got square glasses, but on the front cover he's got these strange circular ones. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, they seem to have gotten it right in the first game, but whatever. None of that even matters anyway. You know why? Because it's one hell of a ride in Power Blade 2. But I don't mean like a, like one of those roller coaster, type of rides. I mean, more of a sit down in your couch, get nice and comfy and relax and playing the game type of ride. Right? But that's not going to last too long. Because you're going to want to get pumped. Alright? You're going to get jacked up. So, you got to get your protein shakes, your pre-workout drink, or whatever you like doing. Get that ready, because you're going to want to fly down to the gym after you're done playing this game. So let's check it out.
Alright, where did I put this game? This is just the first one. Nah, that's not it. I never find the damn thing. Oh well. Okay, time to get my shoes on. Alright, just tie them up. Dude, these are nice shoes, damn. Alright, time to start up with some bicep curls. Get that blood flowing. Getting pumped up, yeah! Let's see how many I can get here. Come on. Come on. Ah, screw it. Protein shake time. Gotta fix up my body, I need those amino acids, proteins, carbs. Wait, what the hell? Is this the game in the bag? Oh well, let's go play this damn thing. Okay, let's get this bad boy in there, and let's go. Merry Christmas, everyone. Okay, it's a little off season, but hey, man, I love Christmas. But it looks like a spoiled Christmas, though, because of these assholes at the Delta Foundation. So the Delta Foundation has created some new line of perfect fighting robots. And they want to forcefully sell them to the government, or else they're going to end up selling them to the enemy. Typical corporate scumbags. So the president was like, what? No, f these guys, man. We're gonna take out the Delta Foundation. Big dog style. We're gonna bring in the army, baby. A one-man army. And guess what? Ani's back. No, wait, sorry. Nova's back. And again, with no questions asked. You are in control of Nova to take out that Delta Foundation. So, who knows what kind of shit is going on in there, man. Just like all the great heroes, Nova intends to find out. Before Nova heads out to his mission, he's got to go back to the basics and, brush up his skills a little bit before he goes back out there to save the world. So he goes back to the masters who first taught him how to fight, and they got a brand new technique for him, the power slide. So now he's a lot like Mega Man in that sense, and his throwing technique pretty much remains the same like in the first game, but that was good enough. You don't need any more improvements when you got the perfect throw. One small but cool detail about Power Blade 2 is actually the play screen, because it's pretty damn detailed, and you got a lot of stuff on the screen. Like, it shows your power meter, your energy meter, your energy packs, your life tanks. your lives. You know, it even has a little picture description of what suit you're wearing. So, you know, those are cool details that you don't really get to see in other games. One meter I usually tend to forget about. You know, you're probably just gonna laugh at me, but it's, you know, actually the time meter. So, you know, you're just getting carried away with trying to, you know, power up your character, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I don't have any time left. Once that time meter runs out, you know, you're dead. But no worries, the game has a password screen, so, you know, once you run out of all your lives, you're still good to go. But the music is kind of strange. It's gloomy. It kind of feels out of place. I mean, it just feels like it should have been made for like a horror game or something. But you know what? It's actually kind of cool though. So while you're on your mission to stop the Delta Foundation, you know, Nova's got a lot of stuff that he's got to pick up on his way, you know, to finish off these hard missions. So, you know, just like in the first game, we got a lot of goodies, the good stuff. You know, we got stuff like the batteries, got life tanks, battery tanks, you know, double boomerangs. We got it all. You know, there's a bunch of stuff that you get, but most importantly, we got burgers.
It gets hard fighting all these near-perfect robots. So, you know what? I gotta beef up on some carbs and protein so I can get big and strong, just like Nova.
Power Blade 2 has 4 regular stages and 1 final stage that you can't access until you complete all 4. So within these 4 stages, you get the special power suits that you're going to need to destroy that final stage. In each stage, you're going to have to go against a mini-boss, or as Nintendo Power likes to call them, Dragon Wheels. These guys protect and hold the advanced power suits constructed by the good old engineers at Delta. So there are 4 suits in total, and you have to have these suits to get past the main bosses. Otherwise, you're going to have a real hard time trying to beat them. Or sometimes you actually just physically can't get to them. But don't worry, because, you know, the mini-bosses, you know, they got some pretty simple patterns, so they shouldn't be really hard to beat. As we enter the first stage, we need to get the Newt suit. So all around, it's an important suit, and you'll find yourself using it for all sorts of situations. Like you can climb on any surface, and it'll even help you get items in impossible looking areas. But, you know, we'll take a look at that later. I love it when you beat a stage in this game, because you get to see one of those patented badass Nova one-liners.
Let's torch this place and get out of here.
In the second stage, you get the wetsuit. This one lets you just glide through any water area. I guess, you know, kind of like that frog suit in Mario. And, you know, it just makes Nova's life a lot easier, just speed swimming through everything. In the third stage, we got the rocket suit. Man, I love this suit because you can just fly around whenever you want. But sometimes, you know, it doesn't really respond that well because it has this kind of awkward acceleration where it kind of goes really slow, but then it kind of speeds up really fast, and then you end up killing yourself. So you got to really watch out when using it. And finally, in the fourth stage, you get the Patriot suit. According to the manual, this thing is the most advanced piece of engineered technology available even today. Like, man, I'm not kidding you, man. This thing protects you, and it just eats up all the enemy fire on the screen. So that just allows Nova to just wipe everything out with ease. Before, you know, we go on about the bosses and such, I just wanted to point out some cool improvements and downfalls over the first game. As you can see, you know, the graphics have improved a lot, and it just looks way better. And you got 4 suits instead of just 1. In the first game, when you kill an enemy and they happen to drop an item, the item actually jumps towards you. Like, that could help you out or either just piss you off. But in Power Blade 2, that doesn't seem to happen anymore. The item actually just stays in a static position. Another thing that's missing in Power Blade 2 is actually the grenade item. You know, where you pick it up and it destroys everything on screen. That was kind of cool, you know, it was shoot 'em up style. The level design in Power Blade 2 is a lot more linear, which I prefer, Because in the first one, it was more of an open world type game, I guess you can say, and you can get lost. Well, at least I did. So trying to remember where to go, which is, something I don't like doing, can be a little bit frustrating. But hey, maybe, you prefer that, or, maybe I'm just a moron or something. Who knows? But we don't want to go on about that. But, anyways, one annoyance is, some of the levels either scroll or flood. And man, it goes by so slow, you just want it to end right away. Like, I guess it is a minor issue, but, again, it is annoying. Alright, you know what, let's get to, some of the bread and butter here, let's take a look at some of the bosses. The first boss, we got the Cyber Cop. This corporate sellout doesn't want to serve and protect you anymore, alright? Instead, he wants your ass dead. No worries though, because he's nothing to the power of the Power Blade. Second boss is the Cyberjet. I used the Newt suit and I didn't really have much of a problem taking him out. Nintendo Power suggested that the wetsuit is, the best way to take him out. It makes sense, but, if you try it out, either way will do. Alright, so now we get to the Cyber Ninja. This guy is, I personally think, he's the hardest of the 4 bosses. Because this guy's master taught him well, and he's gonna mess you up, man. But it seems like he's no match for Nova when you use the rocket suit. Alright, look, the Cyber Gemini, these guys are the easiest bosses of all, man. Like, the engineers at Delta, they're gonna have a hard time back at the office because they're gonna get their asses beat for this, man. Like, they screwed up all the programming for these guys, man. All they do is flip back and forth, and, they're useless, man. You can just kill these guys in no time. They're actually a lot like the flipping twins in Double Dragon 2. But man, they're a lot easier, and you're just gonna murk these guys no problem. For all the collectors, just like Dragon Fighter, Power Blade 2 also has a great manual and box. But, I guess it all comes down to if you're willing to pay a shitload of cash for it. Personally, this is probably one of the only manuals I'd make an exception for to pick up. Even though there isn't much, artwork, I don't even think there's any artwork in it at all. So that's a huge thing for me. I'm a huge fan of that. So if you're like me, and you love artwork in your manuals, and you can't afford this damn thing, so I suggest you get Volume 41 of Nintendo Power, since it's got some good stuff in it for Power Blade 2, and it's hell of a lot cheaper. Anyway, Power Blade 2 doesn't end just 4 stages. We gotta remember that we still have that final stage. It actually has 2 parts to it, and it's actually pretty damn long, so it's well worth going through it. All I gotta say is, this Contra final stage like vibe to it is just awesome. Not only that, you get to see a bunch of new enemies, and you meet up with your one and only contact, Jacqueline. Or whatever the hell her name is, like Jacqueline or Jacqueline, whatever. It's almost like a tribute to the contacts in the first Power Blade. And you know what? She's the one who uncovers the true mysteries of the Delta Foundation. Speaking of mysteries, let's get back to that tip I wanted to show you guys. As I was saying earlier about acquiring impossible items, on the final stage there's actually a health container in one of the top corner of the rooms. Use the Newt suit and simply climb up the wall, and once you reach the top, you'll automatically power slide so you can grab the container.
So yeah, you can't miss out. So you know what you gotta do? You gotta go save up your cash and go rent this game. Well, you can't rent it anymore, but just save up a lot of money, stock up on burgers, buy the game, and just get jacked up for Power Blade 2. Because I sure as hell didn't, and I missed out on that. But, don't worry, one of these days, I'm gonna, get big and strong, just like Nova. Trust me. Trust me on that. And yeah, if you guys are wondering, well, you probably aren't, but I scan these as well. Come on, man, like, I'm not gonna pay, you know how much this shit costs? F*** that.